Here is a quick lesson in MacGyvering some jumper cable clamps that have coming off the ends. So this is your clamp. That's what your end looks like. These should just pop right off. And then you see this. There are two little spiky things on here. Well, technically three in this case. But basically what you want to do is you want the closest one to grab onto the copper wire itself, and then one or two of them you want to grab onto the insulation to hold it and give it strength, because otherwise the copper will wiggle and break. So essentially you have that. Oh, and this always goes on the wire. So for instance, here we have a wire. Okay, so that's a wire as if it were broken off. If you could actually focus on that, there we go. So if you don't have wire strippers, using things that you may have, here we have some scissors. Not always the healthiest thing for your scissors, but what you can do is, so I can balance the camera, just take your scissors and just make a slight, you don't want to cut all the way through, but just put a little pressure and just kind of, you want to just kind of cut the plastic around there, just a little bit. And then it would focus. And then usually you can pull it right off, worst possible case, bite it with your teeth, and just tear it right off like that. And then the way this works is you just want these. Sorry, I don't want to make everybody seasick, but essentially you want, I'm going to say in this case, we probably want to put this like so. So you want these kind of like that. So this first clamp here will hold the plastic, and then the second one will hold the copper. And then all you have to do is just bend these down and over so it kind of grabs on. What I like to do a lot of times, because you can see how much wiggle room they have in here, that's a lot of space and slack. So what I like to do is I like to strip a little extra, like 2 or 3 times as much as we need, and then fold it over. Don't poke yourself. So then you got a nice little meaty ball that kind of fills up the space a little bit better and gives you more to grab onto. Wish that would focus. But yeah, so that's part one. And then all it is if you have pliers or something, it's just a matter of you just want to pinch them like this and just kind of squish them together. It doesn't take much effort at all. Like that and like that, and you can see it starts smooshing down. Obviously, I'm doing this for illustration purposes. You want to have the wire in there first, but so essentially that will end up, you want it to kind of do exactly that. So you can see the, so you want it to be like that. So the first clamp, the first part down here is just on the rubber, and then this part up here is entirely grabbing the copper wire inside. Oh, and one thing I probably should have explained is you want to put your little boot thing on the loose wire, because then once it's clamped on, you just slide it down back onto the handle. Because as I have it now, if I actually permanently clamped this, that was never going to go back on. You'd have to use electrical tape or something. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. If you don't have pliers, I've used my teeth before. You can use pretty much anything that is capable of pinching. I mean, even if you have to, like, set it on a table like that and, use a steak knife or something and just push down on it, that works too, just not as easy. There's plenty of ways to do it, but that's how it goes.